Hey everybody, Todd Lyles here, Service Excellence Training, and today I want to help you reduce fear, specifically the risk of loss, that fear with your clients, so that you will have a boosted conversion rate, or if you prefer, closing rate. Okay, so why is this important? Well, here's what's interesting. Psychologists have proven time and time again that people are more concerned with what they may lose than with what they may gain. Let me say that again. People are vastly more concerned with what they may lose than what they may gain, which is why fear of loss, or if you will, risk aversion, is so powerful. And it's why it can work for you or it can work against you in the presenting to homeowners, whether that's as a technician, whether that's as a CSR, or whether that's as a sales professional. Now let me give you a story that I think illustrates this really, really well, all right? And I heard this from one of my mentors a long time ago. So imagine, if you will, that you are asleep. It's 3 a.m., you're dead to the world, you're having the best dream ever. And there is this banging on your front door. I mean, this loud bang, 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 bang. You wake up and you run to the front door and you open it, and it's your friend. It's someone that you know. So at first your fears were here, they're starting to drop a little, but you're still wondering, why is this guy here at 3 a.m. in the morning? And your friend says to you, hey, man, I knew that your tires were getting old on your car, so I just wanted you to know that I actually changed them for you in the middle of the night because I'm a good friend. Now, think about that. If your friend woke you up at 3 a.m. in the morning to tell you that he changed the tires on your car, even though he did a good thing, even though there was gain there, how do you feel? Chances are you're a little bit annoyed. Why couldn't he at least wait until the morning? All right, now let's reverse it around a little bit. Now imagine bang, 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 bang on your door, 3 a.m. You wake up, you run to the door, your friend's there, and he's got this look of urgency on your face, on his face. You open the door, and he says, John, I was coming home, I worked a really late shift, and I noticed someone was trying to steal the tires off your car. Look, I got out and I read them off. Now, how do you feel now? You feel grateful, right? Even though those tires are beat up, even though they're old, even though they need to be replaced, what just happened was your friend at least prevented someone from taking something you already had. Isn't that interesting how you would be grateful in one scenario that someone will be stealing beat up old worn out tires, and in another scenario you'd be slightly irritated even though they were giving you something new? See, this is just the way that the brain is wired. It is wired to be more concerned with danger and risk than it is gain. Which is also why, for many of you, the current situation may be causing some problems when it comes to your closing, because your clients may be obsessed with the job they might lose. They might be obsessed with the what ifs, and those risks look very dangerous to them, right? As opposed to the idea of getting something new and beneficial, even though that's better. What they have is a little bit of money in the bank and they're scared to death of letting go of it. You guys all know what I'm talking about. So what you have to do is you have to find a way to remove the risk from them as best as you can. I'll give you an example of one of the things that we're doing. Our live classroom events, we want to relaunch those. That's the plan, is to relaunch those, right? And obviously there is a risk to everyone involved, which is essentially, how's that going to go? As an organization, we want to hold a live class event in August. Well, what if there is a resurgence or respiking of COVID and it says you can't? Despite whether we want to, what if the government steps in and says you can't? See, if I'm a student or if I'm a client of ours, that sounds really risky, doesn't it? Which is to pre-book a program knowing that it might not happen. So how do we handle that risk aversion to the best of our ability? So what we've done is a couple things. We've handled all of the risk aversions that we can. We've spoke to the hotel and say, will you give their money back no matter what if it comes up that it needs to be done? Their family gets sick, no excuses, they'll get their money back. So we got a check from the hotel, that's great. Obviously, internally, we're doing the same thing. So for those of you that want to start going back into society, relaunching life, and you want to attend our live events, we understand that there's certain risk involved with that, and we're going to remove, to the best of our ability, that risk, which is essentially to say, if you can't make it, we'll give you all your money back. Not a credit, but we'll just give you your money back. That's another way to remove risk. Now, that's something that we can do as an organization, and what I'm sharing with you is, we're going to go into August with a little bit of a question mark, and I'm just being transparent and being honest with you. We're going to go into August with a little bit of a question mark. But the thing that we're not going to do is put any risk on our potential clients. We're going to remove it all the way. So by the way, if you're interested in going to the program, literally there's no risk to you, other than perhaps if you don't drive and you fly. I'm not sure how the airline's going to handle that. I don't know what they're doing. Right? Chances are I'm pretty sure they're probably making sure that they're giving folks their money back at this time. So we're going to try to reduce that as best as we can, right? Now, there are some ways that you can get close to that same sort of thing in your business, okay? One thing is, let's reduce the risk of fear of safety by doing all the things I bet all of you guys are currently doing. Communicating to your clients how clean and safe you're being, how you're protecting them, how you're wearing masks, gloves, desanitizing, or sanitizing everything before you go in and sanitizing the area that you leave. So that's one risk, the risk of the loss of their health. You can start reducing that. A lot of the other concerns or risk is, as I mentioned earlier, what's going to happen if they potentially lose their job. Well, there are some tremendous finance programs right now, great finance programs right now, that are allowing people to do 12, and I think I've even seen 2 years, same as cash, and then it goes on to a standard loan. Standard, medium interest, 6.9, 9.9% loan. That's pretty great right there. Present that, and chances are real good, no matter who you are, that within the next 12 months to 24 months, everything is back to normal. So that's another risk that you're reducing for your client by offering them financing. Sure, something might happen between now and then, but they're alleviating a lot of the risk for a very long period of time. So there are other ways to do it, and I'd love it if you guys would share it. If you're watching this video, share in this video some of the ways that your organization is reducing your client's risk. But remember, right now especially, the benefit of gain is not going to outweigh the benefit of risk. So again, you can use that by realizing the psychological impact of that and ask the question, how can I remove the risk? How can I remove the potential of loss? And then the benefit of gain becomes more important. How can I reduce it down? And also, how can I demonstrate? And I'll give you another great example, right? This is a hard lesson, but it's a true lesson. It's like a person that maybe their car's breaking down. If they've only got one car and it's in a condition to where it's not going to be safe to drive, there is a reality that there's maybe a greater risk to driving that car around. It might get you straight on the side of the road than the risk associated with perhaps getting a used or new car and taking out a car loan. Same thing can be true when it comes to air conditioning. The risk associated with the monthly payment can be much lower than the risk associated with not even having cooling in the middle of summer when it's crazy hot, thus the financing options. So think about these things right now. Adapt your business. You got to make sure that you're adapting your business in this time, because without adaptation, you're going to suffer. You got to learn how to pivot. And every business, including ours, is having to pivot right now. All right? So make sure you're pivoting to make sure that your business keeps going. Okay. Now, a couple things I want to make sure that everyone that's listening is aware of. One, in August, we absolutely will be doing our live classroom event. No risk to you whatsoever. That's number one. Number 2, our Pac-12. Our Pac-12, this one's going to be exclusively focused on HVAC. Hey, plumbers, electricians, roofers, don't worry, you're going to have yours coming down the road. But Pac-12, we are launching that June 15th, which means you can register for it now. Pac-12 is going to be a group to where we are focusing on what we refer to as the 12 essential KPIs for business. That program is ran by Kerry Webb and Brandon Cockrell. Tremendous program. We've got some subsidized funding for you, which basically means you can get into these programs at a discount. If you want to know how, drop me a direct message. I'll get you connected with Brandon. I'll get you connected with Carrie. They can tell you about what we are referring to as the CARES program. The CARES program, it's a wonderful way to get some subsidized training in your company. We've also got that CARES program available for anybody that's been interested or been considering coming on board with us in our ongoing monthly coaching client relationship. And we've got that CARES program available for anyone that's existing as a monthly client right now. We've got some tremendous opportunities to get the training that you need, low-risk training that you need, and take care of you with some subsidized training money. If you're interested in that, shoot me a direct message. I'll get you connected with a coach. We will tell you how that works. All right, guys, use this lesson, share it with the people at your company. Make sure that we understand how the mind works around risk and how the mind works around gain and benefit. And use this to increase your conversions and to turn learning into earning. God bless. We'll see you soon.